Hi everyone. I've just been guided to come back on and talk about twin flames. Now, this is your divine masculine and how he's feeling in himself at the moment. Um, Now, as I'm feeling it, it is a lot of pressure. It is literally like a kettle boiling up. It's everything is bubbling up to the surface, and he feels like he is going to explode. Um, and I'm saying he, please always be mindful that this is not gender specific. So masculine, feminine can be either sex here. It's not one or the other. You will know yourself in your connection, who is who, and we are both at certain times, so we all hold both the masculine and the feminine within us. So there may be times where you feel that your energy is more in the masculine or more in the feminine, or maybe eventually the goal is to balance it out. But for those that are mostly in the masculine at the moment, things are getting really, really intense, and they are feeling out of control here. They are getting to a point where they can't take it anymore. They don't know what to do, where to turn. And a bit like the reading I gave yesterday, it's almost as if they know they need to take that time out, that back seat, that step away to look at things from a distance and just observe from a different perspective. Because if they don't, they're gonna drown here. That's how they're feeling. They're feeling like it's just a no-win situation, and they can't cope with it. So if you're feeling that, there's been no word, or even on the 5D, perhaps there's not been much activity, and you feel like you're just talking to a brick wall, there's nobody there. Maybe things have just suddenly gone really empty, really quiet, and sort of distant. Then that's for a reason, and it's not because you've done anything wrong, or this isn't real, and or it isn't going to work out, or they've changed their mind. It's just simply their way of staying afloat, because if they submerge themselves in your energy and everything that is happening, whether that's 3D or 5D, then they're just going to feel even more lost and out of control. It's almost as if they're just getting swept with the tide, and for them that's really, really difficult. They don't want to feel like that. They don't enjoy being in a position where everything is out of their hands. And that's something they're realizing, that more and more, if they pay attention to their life and actually how each day unfolds, they've begun to realize that they have little say in anything here. So most days are either dictated to them, or from their lifestyle, their job, their family. They don't have any say in what happens. It's just an autopilot, angry sort of. It's an intense, crazy. Well, it's just autopilot. It's too much, and there's no time for sitting back and saying, what do I want? How do I feel about this? Is this where I want to be? It's just a burden. It feels like a huge, huge weight. And as much as they love you and they want you in their life, they also find that the heaviness and the pain, especially if you're in that separation period, that is too much. And that, on top of everything else, that will blow the roof off. And they don't want to do that to you, and they don't want to do that to themselves. So right now, taking that step back, that's how they regain some control over it. And if there's one thing they don't want to mess up, it's that connection with you. So understand, it's nothing personal. It's just simply the fact that they need to gain control of the reins again. They have to have some sort of say in what they want. And perhaps they don't even know yet. Perhaps they have no idea what they truly want. Now, that's not to say that they're disinterested in you, or they never wanted anything to do with it. It's nothing like that. It's just a case of, those feelings have come over them out of nowhere, perhaps, or unconsciously. They're just there because on a soul level you've made this contract in advance anyway. You came here together as two separate individuals to forge back into the one that you are. And yes, you've got that arrangement, but in this life, as a soul that awareness is just gone. It's like somebody's just come in and literally vacuumed up all of the memory and the information and the knowledge. So to them, they feel like they've got no control. This has come out of nowhere. They haven't asked for it, they haven't chosen it, they don't want to feel like that. And why are they feeling like that? Like I said yesterday, this need to understand the connection, to understand what it is, why it's different, why it's so intense. Even that in itself is something that they are working on. They are working at overcoming fears and doubt surrounding the connection. They want to stand in their power, they want to feel grounded, they want to know and appreciate what is going on without you telling them, without anyone else telling them, and without it just being like, you know, smothering them sort of thing. And that's, again, that's not to say that, that's how you make them feel, but all of the intensity of the emotions, all of that is really, really big. And it's just sometimes too hard to bear it, especially if they can't make any sense out of it. So yeah, it's give them that time to appreciate and understand what is going on without adding to the problem by sort of forcing your energy in there. Or, and on a 5D, send love, send compassion, be there for them, support them. But that doesn't mean it has to be a bombarding situation. It doesn't mean it has to be every single minute of every single day. And yeah, if you're thinking about them, chances are they are thinking about you. But acknowledge if you think about them, appreciate that that means that they're doing the same, but then leave it be. See what comes through on your own. So instead of consciously thinking about that person and wondering what's going on and, fantasizing, ruminating, going round and round in these circles, try and just push your mind aside and focus on something. Listen to some music or read a book or whatever it may be, and just give that space where your mind, your sort of side of your soul, isn't always chatter, and just see what you receive. Because if your mind's always going at a million miles an hour, then there's not really any space for them to step forward and move in. So having that quiet time, that downtime, and then just notice what signs and messages you receive from their higher self that perhaps you wouldn't have heard had you not have silenced yourself a little bit. And please don't think that I'm saying, stop it all, shut it out, that, the way you're feeling is not important. Of course it is. It is. But to be kind to them and to be kind to yourself, allow them to step up, allow them to move in, to move forward on their terms and be ready. And if they're coming from their own heart space, if they have had time to understand and appreciate what's happening here, it will be so much better. It will fulfill them, it will fulfill you, and it will feel magnificent. It won't be forced in any way, it won't be conflicting, it will just be genuine, authentic from the heart. And that's all they want, is just to get their head round this, to be in control of it. And that's not to control you, not at all. It is just to have some space for self. They need that right now. They need to be able to recharge and to understand. And that does mean patience for both of you. So they need you to be patient with them and just trust that they are working on this. They are returning and they are getting closer and closer every single day. But also, it's patience the other side as well, because if you're not doing this together, if you can't both meet each other halfway on this, it never gets to where it needs to be. So do it. Give them that time. Give yourself that time. And just see how things change in your life as well. I know for many of you it's going to be sort of tough to block that out, or to at least put a dampener on it slightly and to tone it down, because they're in your mind all the time. And that is lovely. That just shows how strong the bond is there. But it's not easy, is it, to sort of cut it back? It really isn't. It's like pruning a great big beast of a tree that's just got out of hand, and things have got so intertwined and tangled. It's like ivy that's gone crazy. But underneath there's some beautiful flowers just trying to bloom and to get out. And if you can just pull some of those threads away and get those vines to untangle, then you'll see the beauty within there. So please try and be aware that they are literally struggling every single day at the minute. And there's no doubt there about how they feel. Please don't think that that means that they're, you know, they want to move on, or it's not feeling right. It's completely the opposite. It is so real and intense for them that that is all they want. But at the same time, they can't move forward towards something that they do not understand. And the more you're in their presence and in their energy, with your light shining so incredibly beautiful and bright, it can overwhelm. And please don't dim your light and just hide, but just reel it back in just a tiny little bit. Put your energy and your light into something in your own space, in your own life. Focus on something for you, your passions, your goals. Put your energy where you need it, because that's what they're doing. That's what they need to do right now, is to put their energy on themselves and on what is going on. And yeah, okay, then they're not moving their energy away from you completely, because a lot of this, what they're working on, is surrounding you and in your energy. But they are trying to work it out and be kind to themselves. And that's a big tough thing for the masculine, to accept and say, I need this, I need time for me. It's being vulnerable. It's a state of real sort of connectedness with self, which so many people, and that's feminine and masculine, just do not do that. And this keeps being a theme that keeps popping up at the moment, that we're not tuning into ourselves and our own needs, and we're doing ourselves a disservice by just saying yes and people pleasing and just being on autopilot all the time. They're starting to realise that now. They're realising, as I said at the beginning of this reading, that their life feels like it's out of their hands. They have no control over what happens, what goes, even the hours in each day. They feel like it's just ruled by somebody else. They feel helpless. They feel out of control, and they feel burdened. So try your best from the 5D perspective to send them that love, to send them that support, and just let them know that you're always there, but you will just take that little step back for them and for yourself, and that you trust that they will come back when they are ready, because they will. And that time is coming very, very soon. The fact that they are at that point now where they are actually focusing on themselves means that you've done some of the work as well. You've done that. And I know that for those of you listening, you will have done this. This is ringing true, and you're thinking, oh, they're at that point. I didn't think that was going to happen ever. But they are. So it's followed on. It's like a domino effect. If you've put the hours in and you've done your inner work and your healing, and you've appreciated at some point in the last sort of few months, few years, that you need to work on self, then that's paid off, because now it's triggered them to be awakened and be aware of their own life, their own situation, and what's working for them and what really isn't. So, as I said yesterday, let's give them a round of applause. Let's honestly just be thankful that they're working on themselves, which in turn means they're working on the connection. Give them that time and focus on yourself. Okay, enjoy. Bye.